Ed Finnegan, who is the Director of Office of Fleet Management, will be talking to us about the fuel card program. So Ed, I'll let you get started.
Okay, thank you. Thanks everybody for coming in. I'm the State Fleet Director, and this is one of the programs we oversee, and it really offers a great opportunity for the local governments to both manage their fuel, which is always a nebulous expense, and to monitor what's going on. So the program, let me learn how to do the clicker here. We have about 300 local government entities within the state of Georgia that are already on the program. The benefits, there are a lot to them. We'll go over all of them during the program here. And the big takeaway should be there are absolutely no costs relating to this program, and there is a rebate. Okay, the value of the WEX proprietary network, there's broad acceptance. It's one of the largest in the country and has the federal government's account. They have purchase controls so that you determine who can buy what, when, and where. Level 3 data. This means that you get the driver, the product, and the odometer all at the same time. If you have any program that's monitoring your fuel, you need all three of those elements. The fuel card authorization, you have complete control over who does what. So you're able to set those restrictions. We'll see that in a second. Extensive coverage. This is some of the companies that are involved. There are 8,000 vendors in the state of Georgia. And in my 4 years overseeing this program, we've never had anyone call saying they couldn't find a vendor in their location. Authorized controls. So you control the driver activity for fuel and maintenance, and you set the controls for the account and the card. So that means that you can determine how many transactions can be done a day, what day of the week, what time of day, and what information you want to capture. So as we said, you always want to capture the who's doing it, so a driver ID, a PIN, and the odometer, because odometers really drive all issues in fuel maintenance. Let's go to the next one. Product controls. So again, you control this. You control what they can buy, when they can buy it. There's 4 refresh times that you can choose, and this is when the reports are generated. So you can see a daily report, weekly, twice monthly, or monthly. And you can pull up all the transactions for any period. You can do it by dollar amount, or you can just pull up by product category, like all the diesel purchases in a certain time frame. Real-time alerts. This is a part of this program that really assists agencies, state agencies, and locals. It allows them to set alerts, or parameters rather, when a purchase can be made. So according to your business model, you know if your drivers should be purchasing fuel at a certain time of day or a certain day of the week. And you can set those parameters. And if they go outside those parameters, you get an alert. Now that always lets the sale go through because you don't want to stick anybody at the pump because, of course, anything can happen out there and you're not always familiar with the circumstances. But you do get the alert, and then the next day you would meet with that driver and find out the reason for that purchase. The parameters are completely up to you, and there's a lot of variation in each one. The next one is the pump shutoff. Now this is a hard stop. So you would set up your pump shutoff parameters based again on your business type. So perhaps you might have no more than $200 a day or no more than 2 transactions a day, something along those lines, or never diesel or never super, something along those lines. And then at that point, if they exceeded those parameters, the pump would actually shut off. This is based on technology that has to be accepted by the vendor itself. And so far, 85% of the locations have updated to be able to shut off the pump. Online account management. So WEX Online provides detailed reporting and fuel transaction summaries, invoice and payment options, authorization log, toolkits to access multiple service and features, pump shutoff that we discussed, fuel price mapping, which we'll talk about in a second. But these reports are really the essence of this program. You can pull these reports by driver, by vehicle, heaviest users, purchases outside the normal hours, and you can set these up to automatically generate. So that if you have some concerns about certain drivers or a certain department in your agency, you can run these reports and just verify that everything is up and up. The fuel price mapping is where you can go onto a laptop, onto the WEX Online location, and see all the locations that accept their card in a certain zip code or city or county. And if you hover over the icon, you'll get the real-time prices along with the name of the location and the latest price. I'm sorry, the name of the location and the address. So when we do this live, we usually see a variance of 8% from the highest to the lowest. And really your drivers don't have a good comparison unless you have this information. This is great for somebody if they're running routes. They'll obviously know where the cheapest price is. The benefits are insight into daily and monthly and annual spend. And there's such a variation in fuel these days that it's hard to track. This really gives you good insight into that issue. Financial reporting. So you can pull up all sorts of reports. Vehicle analysis report. So it can show you one particular vehicle and whether or not that's a fuel efficient vehicle, so you can make your case of whether or not this is a vehicle you want to keep in your fleet. Exception reports. This might show you who's outside of those parameters you set, or who's your heaviest user. So for instance, if you have an average of 4 fill-ups a month and one person is in double digits, that would show up on this report and it would lead you to some further action. Financial summary reports, year-to-date, current, and period purchases. That's great information. Site summary report shows the location. So are you going to one particular store? Is that what you want to do? Are there less expensive options? Tax exempt. All the taxes are pulled out before you get your bill. That removes about 42 cents a gallon. And it also tracks minority and women-owned businesses. Next one is private site fueling. So a lot of cities and counties have bulk sites. I'm not a big fan of bulk sites because they don't always save you money. There's additional hidden costs in maintenance and inspection fees. And of course there's major issues if there's ever an incident. But certainly there is a place for these, and if yours is one of those, you need to integrate the information you have from those bulk sites and the information you can gain from private sites when your vehicles are away from that bulk site fueling center. So first of all, you have to have a reader on your bulk site. If you don't have one of those, that would be my first suggestion. And there's a lot of low-cost options now. In any case, if you have a reader on your site, and you have cards in the vehicles for when they leave the area, all of that information is integrated. So that if your police were sent down to Forsyth for training, you would be able to capture all of that fuel and not have any skips in the data. alternative fuels. So a lot of cities and counties and locals are moving into electric, ethanol, CNG, LNG, biodiesel, and methanol. And this program can capture all of that information. Excuse me. WEX itself is a member of all of the boards that are listed up here, and they're very active in this aspect of the business. Natural disasters. Last year in Atlanta, we had several natural disasters, and you have to have the ability to move from your normal parameters into an emergency profile. So for instance, if your fire trucks are called to another area to help out, and they have to go over into Alabama, you're going to have additional fueling that doesn't fit into your normal parameters. So you're able to establish these beforehand and automatically switch from one profile to another as needed. Mobile-based fuel price mapping. This is called WEX Connect, and this is like the fuel price mapping that we talked about if you pull it up on your laptop, except this is for smartphones. So here you can do all sorts of things. When you're out on the road, you can determine where the lowest priced fuel is in your area. You certainly don't want to drive 20 miles to save a dime, but if it's around the corner, you need to know that. And also, they also can locate diesel, E85, and CNG. So this is a great little program. It's free, and you don't have to join our program to get this. You can just go on WEX Online to get this app. Wright Express, or WEX, has just won the rebid. So we're seeing, we're going to be dealing with them for another 4 to 5 years, and it's been a long relationship already, and we're very happy that they won. This is their customer service setup, and you can see every customer has a relationship manager, an account manager, and an implementation team. So while we've been with WEX for a long time, they've just changed their platform, and moving to the new platform is necessitating that we go through the implementation process. And it would be the same for you if you're coming onto the program now. And what we've seen is a great approach by WEX to make this a personal conversation between you and them. They're concerned with your vehicles, not just the 33,000 that we have under the card today. So the benefit summary: universal acceptance, purchase controls, online account maintenance, cost-saving solutions, detailed flexible reporting, total fleet management, local representation, dedicated customer service support. So whether you use this as your main program, as many cities and counties do, or you use it as a backup program for when your vehicles leave your area, or a mixture of both, this brings the data all together at absolutely no cost, because it's free to enroll and it's free to use, and there's a rebate. So if you'd like to enroll or you have any questions, my information and the account manager for WEX is on the screen now. Call us anytime. We're happy to come out to your place. We're on the road all the time doing just that. We're happy to come to you. That's it on our end. Any questions?
Thanks, Ed. Maybe somebody will have a question, but I have a question for those areas in South Georgia or that are not as populated as the Atlanta area. Do you still find that most stations carry the WEX card? Or
WEX tells us it's 96% of all the stations in the state.
Okay.
So certainly some areas will have fewer stations, but of those we'll have a great percentage.
And the billing also incorporates the tax exempt status as well?
Right. You get one bill at the end of the month for all of your transactions, and then all the taxes are already pulled out. So you don't have to track those down at the end of the year.
That's definitely a benefit to our cities to
Sure.
have that advantage. If there's no questions, I don't see anybody that's got any questions right now, but please know that we will have these webinars recorded and placed on our website probably at the end of next week, or maybe the first of the following week, since next week maybe is Thanksgiving. But please look back and see if you can share these with anybody in your staff, in your office. We've got the other webinars that we produced a couple of weeks ago on our website, so take advantage of those as well. I'd like to thank John and Ed for joining us today, and hope that you will take advantage of some of the state's programs that can save your city some money and time and be an advantage for your city. So with that, if there's nothing else, I'll just look forward to the next webinars with the state, and you'll be getting some information about that later on.
Thanks
so much for joining us.
Thank you.